Scorpios, this is Queen Amora coming to you with your general reading. Scorpios, let's get into it. Let's start with this awakening oil here. All right, Scorpios, hopefully everybody's having a great full moon. We're still in the full moon phase up until about the 10th of October. We had a full moon on 6/7th of October, 3 days prior to, 3 days after is when you can do your divinations. You can put out your gemstones and crystals, all those things that you would do for the full moon phase, because you're still getting your downloads. So if the full moon is exhausting for you when you think about certain people, places, or things that could be triggering for you, take a nap if you can. If you work from home and you need to use your lunch break as a nap, that would be a creative way of doing things, right? Saying, you know what, I can eat while I'm working. That could be your lunch, breakfast, or dinner, or whatever while you're working. But in the meantime, I'm going to take a nap on my lunch break. I'm not going to cheat the company out of their time. I'm just going to take a nap during my lunch break so I can get some downloads. You may feel a lot better with a power nap, maybe an hour power nap, and you set your alarm and say, okay, I'm going to get some rest. If you're teleworking, get your rest. It's full moon energy. You're trying to protect your energy. So you're going out during the day, trying to stay in at night. People driving extra fast. You know, animals coming out to the side of the road, trying to hop across the road because that bright light, they can't really sleep the way they normally would. So it's like, okay, gosh, I can't put a mask on my face as a deer. So there's bright moonlight out there and it's a super moon. So yeah, so let's get into your reading though. Let's get right into your reading. So happy full moon, happy full hunter's moon here. And so make sure you are, telling your loved ones to protect their energy. The word hunter just brings a lot of memories for a lot of people ancestrally. So make sure you're telling people, giving them the secret. Hey, let them call you when they make it home, when they get to and from their destination. If they have to work at night, you know, if you have it on your heart, oh, you know what, so-and-so could be working late. Let me just check on them. Make sure you're not talking to them while they're trying to drive. Just call me when you get to work or text me when you get to work. Make sure you let me know you got home safely, all those things. That's going to be the secret to you trying to help people, your loved ones. And so you're on the rebirth side. You're on the rebirth side of something that you could have felt like you were almost in a zombified mode for, right? Because you're having a total recall of just really walking away from some cold-hearted energies. I mean, just straight up cold-hearted energies. It's almost like you woke up, like you went to bed and woke up the next morning and go, you know what? Okay, this is just cold-blooded, right? So something has gotten you laser focused, and it's helping you to get laser focused ancestrally. This is the Judgment card, which is Pluto, and Pluto is the outermost planet. So somebody's feeling really lucky to really be alive at this point, to even hear and see how many woke people there are, right? How many people there are who are just awakened to, ancestrally, like what their ancestors have gone through. I mean, every opportunity that I get to tell people about the impact my grandparents on both sides of my family, my teachers, whomever, even, some of the things that my parents, just looking at their work ethic, those kind of things, I tell people face to face. I'm like, listen, it really does take a village, not just to raise kids, your own inner child as an adult. It takes a village. When I come across pastors and spiritual leaders and so on and so forth, and if I don't have anything kind to say about them, I don't have anything to say about it at all, right? But it's not by coincidence that Source is sending people across people's paths. Some people really are great at what they do. Like somebody, and it's a backhanded compliment to say, this person is this way, but you can't say this about them. They really good at what they do, but they this and that. Some people only hear the negative. So I feel like somebody is on the light side of something. You've awakened to, sort of ancestrally, just kind of like the sacrifices that your ancestors made, looking at the cards here, secretly, that they had to go through. That's why I always say, like, whoever you are, ancestors crawl so that we could fly, not eventually walk. Like the baby stages, when they crawl, they first roll over on their back and make their little cooing sounds, and they finally learn how to crawl. Then they holding on to the side of the table to try to walk. In this generation, we should all be flying. It's a state of mind that some people are in. And so some people are just now awakening to, wow, you know what? That's why this is the things I really love about this generation. They're not gonna stay on no job. They're not gonna go from a job from coming out of high school and gonna stay on a job till they retire. They're gonna go there. They're gonna get what they need to get. Keeping up. And some people are like, gosh, I wish I had some of the old school people here that would work a job and stay on the job until they retire. Those people still exist, but a lot of people automatically won't hire them because they feel like, okay, this person may be coming with some health problems, or just automatically thinking the worst about people. They don't want to hire people because they may become, they coming with hurt, they almost close to death. That person could be a person that could be a greeter in a store or whatever, and that person could just be there. They'd be like, they're going to be there till they retire. They're not just in and out. They could have a really solid person that stays in there who's really passionate about what they do, right? So what I feel like a lot of bridges are being connected here, and this is what I'm seeing here in the cards. A lot of bridges are being connected, right? When I hear people say, oh, I wish I could, these kids, they don't want a job. What makes you not think they want a job? It's just a different time. Hire somebody who you feel like is older, somebody who's going to sit in the job and say, hey, I don't mind sitting here. The kids, the grandkids grew up. They don't have to rush home to do anything, or they need to be home at a certain time, whatever the situation is. But there are people out here, and I'm seeing here that, but people are looking for fast money to make a fortune in a certain kind of way. And I'm looking at this right here, the Wheel of Fortune. And so somebody's going to feel real fortunate that lights come on for people when they are in hermit mode, right? A light came on because too many people are assuming the worst about people. They're assuming the worst about people. And something having to do with a past love interest, like somebody wanting to mirror someone's gifts and talents. That's what I'm saying. Like somebody is not, this is beyond a doppelganger. This is an unhealthy mirroring or copying of someone's star, right? Some people are born stars. Some people are born stars. Everybody is born a star, but some people know that they were born a star, right? That's why they can just kind of sort of fall back and just, clap and cheer for other people. They're like, okay, it's exhausting always being the center of attention. It really is exhausting. Always being the light in some, because for every light, you're going to have somebody trying to put out your lights, right? For every time somebody compliments you, you got somebody else who's going to tell you that you're not all of that, whatever, right? So it could be exhausting. So somebody is on the other side of something now when we're talking about the Tower card here, and you're starting to see if you were in zombified mode because, hey, maybe you just got tired of just shining bright. You're awakened now. You're on the rebirth side of just how some people are applauding you. They're giving you your flowers while you're alive, and some people feel like they can make a fortune off of you when you die. Somebody is now realizing that what lengths people will go through to end you, like what lengths they will go to. There are some people who will give you your flowers while you're alive. I believe in giving people their flowers while they're alive. Even if I'm closing out a cycle and I know we're never going to see each other because, hey, I'm leaving a job, I need to put all my focus on this new job, right? So I'm giving you flowers. Thank you so much for helping me while I was here. I really appreciate, everything that you helped me with or whatever while I was here, and I'm moving on, right? Some people are going to, looking at your cards here now that you're on the other side of things, you're going to start realizing that when people give people their flowers when they're alive, they're not sitting in grief. They're not sitting in grief like that. They gave their person their flowers when they're alive. I'm trying to think of every single person. Yeah, I can think of, yeah. I think the last person that transitioned was my father. And I remember we had some really, really good conversations before he transitioned. Yeah, some really, really good conversations before he transitioned. A lot of good pictures and all those things. Taking him to museums and, things that he really enjoyed doing, all those things. So Source is saying when you're closing out cycles, and even with marriages, friendships, loved ones who transition, all of those things, you're starting to think now, I'm giving people their flowers while they're still alive. I'm not going to wait until I'm at a funeral to give somebody their flowers after they're gone. They can't reach, they're here in spirit, but people are too conditioned to give people flowers at you only have to go to a grave site. If you give people their flowers while they're alive, Because you're like, okay, energy never dies. I mean, whatever your beliefs are, but somebody's having some kind of an awakening. Somebody's starting to have some kind of an awakening. When you give people their flowers, see this right here? When you give them their flowers while they're still alive, you celebrated their life while they were alive. You don't have to sit there, you know, oh, we all got to get together and, you know, grieve over and over and over and over again. Let the person rest in peace. Let people rest in peace, right? So somebody is learning how to walk away from cold-hearted energies altogether. Here we have the Magician card, and again, the thing is going to be somebody could have a moon in Scorpio. What other signs we have up here? Yeah, somebody could have a moon in Scorpio. Somebody could have a moon in Aquarius. Somebody could have a moon in Virgo, because I'm looking at the zodiac signs here. Yeah, somebody could have a moon in Scorpio, because this is Scorpio's card. So somebody's getting a message loud and clear. Somebody's getting a message loud and clear. Yeah, give people their flowers when they're alive. Give them their flowers when they're alive, even if you know you're not going to see them again. For real, because it could be the last time you see them again. They could be healthy as I don't know what, but it could be the last time that you're going to see them again. Right? So, but I feel like picking up your cards here, there could be somebody who feels like that they're the sole reason for why you are a star. Like somebody, that's impossible for one person to be. When you have grandparents, parents, great-grandparents, even if you never met them before, who play some role in you inheriting these gifts that you have, right? I see you being very structured and very organized, but I do see you being in gratitude to these energies and giving people their flowers while they're alive. You have new love coming across your path, whoever you are, and something about this new love is an overflow. I'm seeing here you have all of the water signs in your birth chart. You have Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, whoever you are in your birth chart. So you could be a crier. You could be a person who cries easily or gets your anxiety. Because I'm seeing here in the car, somebody just has somebody. You may have encountered somebody who has Scorpio and Pisces in their birth chart, but they may be missing Cancer in their birth chart. Cancer is the mother and money sign of the zodiac. Even if it's a man, they can be very nurturing, but their Cancer is ruled by the moon, so even though people think they're a moody sign, they are actually experiencing everyone's mood in the universe. Literally every 2.5 days is going from one zodiac sign to the next, to the next, to the next. So that's what I'm seeing here, your cards today. You're learning how to rise above judgment. You want other people to rise above judgment where you're concerned, but you could embody all three of the water signs. This is the Ace of Cups. It's Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio in your birth chart. So somebody can really relate to criers, right? People who may cry, or maybe you work out a lot, where you like to sweat, you like to somehow purge. Crying is a way of purging because you're getting the water out. Like this right here, you're getting water out, right? You could like to work out a lot. You may be a sweater. Not right. You can be a person who sweats a lot or cries a lot, or somehow water is coming out of you. Maybe you go to the bathroom, run to the bathroom a lot. So you need to make sure your lymphatic system is together. You don't need any stoppages, something that's being stopped up. So one of the things for you, you're going around warm-hearted people, not cold-hearted, ice cold-hearted people, right? Like I said, the hunters, this is called an ice cold moon, a hunter's moon. People who hunt people who, when they don't do things their way or the highway, they just like they got ice cold water running through their veins. So you're learning how to rise above the judgment of energies, because when you realize people had a secret, crying could be one of them. Crying could be like, okay, I'm around some people who are insensitive, so they may cry around people who are insensitive. They may feel like, okay, I need to go to the gym and work out because I don't want to reflect that kind. I need to get this off of me. I need to go work out, go to the gym, and I need to sweat this out, right? So you could be a person who is very fit, or you could be a person who is people call you overly sensitive. You know, you cry too much, or you just a crybaby, right? So here we have the Four of Cups. And when your back is against the wall, this right here, 4 and Ace of Cups, somebody starts crying, right? I always tell people who are crybabies, you think they're crybabies, they are crying for the people around them because they already know they just called in their karma. Somebody just called in their karma for making them cry. They don't have to do a thing. They just made them cry. They pushed their back against the wall, and they started pouring out in some kind of way, crying in some kind of way, right? So here we have the Six of Pentacles here. And so somebody is now learning how to pay attention. Pay attention. People sitting around laughing at people that's crying a lot. Oh, they just a crybaby. They need to toughen up. No, they letting people know they picking up on some kind of energy. They're picking up on some kind of energy. People learning how to rise above judgment, right? Page of Wands here. Page of Wands here. Somebody is really understanding how you make them cry, and they may not know exactly who made them cry and where the roots came from, but it's swinging back around their tower. Somebody about to have a tower moment. Somebody's about to have a tower moment because somebody's crying about something. So here we have the Page of Wands. Somebody is getting a message loud and clear. This is the Page of Wands. Somebody is getting a message loud and clear that it's okay to cry. Man or woman, it is okay to release those tears. It's okay to want to go to the gym and sweat it out. Because at that very moment, you've been trying to hold something in. You didn't lose it. You didn't end somebody's life. You just cried about something. And you already know that karma is coming back. And you can't touch karma. I mean, so somebody had a first impression of something, and that somebody is just cold-hearted. They just walk away from something, but somebody is really learning. Karma is no joke. You talking about the ice-cold moon? That can't touch karma because it's our own energy coming back at us. That's what it is. Or generationally, it's coming back from us. Like some people tell their boys in their family, oh, boys don't cry, toughen up. That could be passed down from generation to generation to generation to generation. But then you may have somebody else to balance it out. Somebody who seems like they coddle their sons too much. Like another parent could seem like they baby their sons too much. But they're trying to balance some things out to let them know, hey, it's okay to cry. You know, you don't want to get so angry that you just do something that you're going to end up regretting for the rest of your life. So it's okay to cry until they run up against, come up against a partner, whether it's a man or woman, and just say, oh, you just a mama's boy, or you just a mama's daddy's girl, or whatever the case may be. They may not have known that you were talked to like you was dead. Generationally, like you don't exist, like you don't matter. So yeah, that's why some people, they stop messing with certain people. They just like, now I want to be bothered with certain people because they treat them like they just don't even matter. A lot of people have those stories. A lot of people have a lot of stories how insensitive some people are. So looking at your cards here, you're learning how to rise above judgment because somebody was trying to bring judgment down on your star, right? Trying to bring judgment down on your 11th house. Aquarius rules 11th house. And so right now, the judgment card, Pluto, is in Aquarius, right? So a lot more people are starting to be in their humanitarian energy and start looking at people as like being ice cold. People express themselves differently. Some people go to the gym, they go work out until they work out until they come out of the gym buffed. Some people, they cry about it and they go for a walk, they go fill themselves, they go pour back into themselves to take a nap, drink water, healthier eating, do something to get their lymphatic system going. Whatever they do, they're learning how to do what nurtures them best, right? What nurtures them best. And people are still jumping to conclusions about stuff. Here we have the Lovers card. So a decision has been made. A decision has been made. You are getting a message loud and clear. And some people have decided to just pray for people's strength. Some people have decided to pray for some people's strength. Everybody that walks away is not cold-blooded. Some people really, because water is reflective. You can't have two hot-headed energies connected to each other, or a death will happen. A death will happen. Something will happen, right? And that's not always in a physical sense, right? Where somebody just completely emotionally shuts down and turns off, ain't praying for nobody. That could be a death, and somebody just like, okay, that person walked away from you, so they're not praying for you anymore. They don't want to have anything to do with you. No, not necessarily. Somebody needs to draw a line in the sand. Whoever is being talked to or treated coldly by people, where people just sitting there laughing and making somebody cry, somebody a crybaby, somebody is coming up behind them and saying, hey, listen, I'm here, pouring in warmth into them. I'm proud of you. You're amazing. You have a light in you, helping people. And that's the secret. That is the secret. That is the secret. Draw a line in the sand, get away from the cold-hearted people and just be compassionate towards other people. That is the secret. So like I said, in my readings, I take it all the way down to the lowest of low, and I bring it up to a higher frequency. Some people have been hunted for generations. They have been hunted like prey for generations, right? And when people are helping people secretly, they can't, sometimes people can't see it, because how come they not screaming and fussing and kicking over chairs and desks, but secretly behind the scene, they're doing something to help people, giving people their flowers while they're alive, inviting people places. Hey, you know what? I know what people are saying about you, but guess what? Let me give you a bigger platform. Let me help you. Let me give you a bigger platform. Let me help you. I know what people are saying. Those people are go-betweens, buffers. They are go-betweens and they're buffers. I remember when I was in a leadership position at a federal agency, and I invited somebody to come speak. I had heard every horrible thing. They wanted to kick me off of the president position, all of that, because of who I was inviting. And I said to myself, this person is causing a lot of conversation. But when they showed up, the whole lobby where we had laid out and all this other stuff, a lot of people showed up. You got to give people their flowers when they're alive, when they're showing, when they are operating in their purpose, right? But you also got to be concerned when they are surrounded by people who are jealous of their calling on their lives. People will do all kinds of stuff. They will create. Water should be used for creativity. They will create a false narrative around something to bring judgment down on somebody else. Just craziness, pure D craziness. Speaking of death, pure D craziness. For real, like craziness. So somebody is learning how to learning how to contain their water, not being impulsive. Somebody is really learning how to walk away from cold-hearted, cold-blooded energy. It could be another Scorpio involved in something. Like I said, somebody could have a moon in Scorpio. Somebody could have a moon in Aquarius. Somebody could have a moon in Virgo, looking at the cards here. But judgment is coming down on some energies. Judgment is coming down. Somebody could have a moon in Leo here. This right here. Somebody could have a moon in Gemini. Judgment is coming down on some people for, like I said, their karma is happening. Because they could not, for the life of them, rise above judgment. There's another Scorpio. Somebody, a dark Scorpio versus light Scorpio. Somebody was completely desensitized. All they heard was about somebody's past and secrets and all of this other stuff. They were ready to go in for sting mode, right? Just ready to go in for sting mode. Didn't know nothing. Didn't get to the bottom of nothing or anything. So here we have the Seven of Pentacles here. So a seed has been planted and it's coming up through the roots, right? It's coming, I mean, the roots are running deep, but it's coming up through the soil. Something has grown up. Something has come up through the soil. So and this could be you. You could grow. You could be more mature now. You could be like, you know what? I'm awakened to some things that I was not awakened to before. I'm awakened to some things that I was not awakened to before. And that could be causing you a tower moment to finally walk away from some cold-hearted energies. Some cold-hearted energy. Another thing I love about this generation is that they're not afraid to speak up. They're really not afraid to speak up. Whereas ancestors were like, shh, don't talk about this. Don't talk about that. Child, this generation, they be pulling out. I love this. That's what I love about the generation. They're going to say it. They got the internet. They got a microphone. Child, they about to be famous. They're going to put it on social media. They're going to put it on social media, right? Whether people want to hear it or not, right? So you got to give kudos where you got to give kudos where kudos are due. Whereas ancestors may have been like, no, don't say that. Don't say so. You can't say this and that. Shh, not this generation. So some people are bridging the gap. Some people are bridging the gap with some cold-hearted energies. We're not necessarily talking about a race of people or culture of people or whatever, but there's some people out here that's so desensitized to stuff that they're afraid for people to wake up, because they're afraid that some people would be just as cold-hearted and ruthless as they were. And so Source is saying to you, you're not dead and you're alive. You prayed for something and you're seeing the day. You're seeing something. Whoever you are, you're seeing something, right? So here we have the Queen of Wands. So I feel like what I just say, somebody could be feisty. Somebody could be feisty, right? Somebody can complain and they constantly trying to bring out people's dark side. Oh, this person, you don't know, they got a shadow side to them. When people could be calling them feisty, but that's exactly what some of our ancestors would say. Whoever you are, it doesn't matter if you black, white, whoever. But that's some of your ancestors could have been like, you know what? Oh no, you got too much fire. You got to calm down. You can't say X. Not this generation. This generation, like, what? I'll quit a job in a heartbeat. You ain't gonna tell me to stay extra late. That's what some of this generation is saying. Like, nah, I'm not staying on this job until I retire. I asked for a promotion. I did everything your expectations was. I exceeded your expectations, and you still not trying to give me you still playing those games. You know what? Go find somebody else. And somebody be like, oh, see that person, and they go straight to blackballing people. Whoever it is. It's not everybody, right? So again, I'm not talking about necessarily race, because something happens in every race and every culture where people feel like they're the hunted, they're the prey that's being hunted. And so somebody is starting to wake up to who helps people behind the scenes and who openly helps people. So looking at your cards here, there's a lot of people who people are just now waking up. They're just now waking up. Here we have the moon card. Yeah, and that's the secret. Yeah, something came back around. That is the secret. Some people openly help people. Some people secretly behind closed doors, because they already know the hell people gone through. People wishing death on people. People trying to bring towers down on people. Here comes somebody like, let me just secretly try to help you. Let me help you with something. I got you. So somebody's having an awakening. Another tower moment, a double tower moment. Somebody's having another awakening, possibly about a hermit. You could be a hermit or in hermit mode, but somebody's learning how to, some people would rather certain people shut up. Just be quiet. Don't talk about that. Oh God, you should be talking about that. That's going to bring a tower down on you. That's if you operate in the spirit of fear. That's why somebody got their finger over their mouth. They're like, oh God. Okay, they go to black sheep talking again. The black sheep of the family talking again. Yeah, the black sheep be having the answers, because they already been put out the family. They've already been ostracized, so they're not necessarily worried about that. They're not trying to hurt somebody. They've already gone through the grieving process and healed and letting people rest in peace. But at the same time, they got some fight in them when it comes to their ancestors. They like, the ancestors, crawl so they can fly. Forget walk. They talking about flying, right? So they shine the light on stuff. This is solar plexus chart. They inspiring people. Yeah, people inspiring people out here. Here we have, triumph. There it is. Person hair blowing in the wind. Child, they da. People like, what? Yeah, so something has come to an end. So I'm seeing a triumph here. Yeah, so I'm seeing somebody like being out in the sun. Right? Yeah, somebody like being out in the sun, because it's too many destiny swapping going on. Somebody has had so many people trying to be you. It's not even fun. I'm trying to tell y'all, listen. I used to go to this one church, and I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to turn the camera off. It was actually creepy to see this. I didn't grow up in this kind of church, but it was really creepy to see this, how like people really do be copying. I didn't grow up in a church where people call people first ladies, whatever, but that was creepy to me. Like to see that, okay, this is really odd. Like, okay, so that means because maybe it could have been trying to copy the pastor, but the copy the first lady, she get her hair color orange, blonde, or she gets her hair cut off, or grows her hair long, or start wearing braids, or twist, or her hair curly, or get a perm, or whatever. Here come everybody, a whole sea of copycats. Like, what is that? Really kind of was like creepy to me. I was like, okay, so do they secretly want her husband? Like, what? Okay, something is creepy here. Like, something is off. But it's so normal for some people to just like not have their own identity. That is normal for some people. Even though there's nothing new under the sun, every person has inherited their own special gift. They've gone through their own. When to see that, I was like, I gotta go. I don't know if nobody else is, but this kind of give me the heebie-jeebies. Give me the creeps. Like, everybody look alike. What is this? Right? Like, so yeah, so. And that's not judging people. It's just like, for me, it's just like, that's a distraction. Like, everybody trying to look like at first, the person, whoever the first lady was of that organization, could have felt like, okay, yeah, this is kind of sort of normal. People are trying to, they like the purse. They like the way the person wear their hair. But it's almost like some people want to morph into that person. They want the person's husband. They want the person's marriage. They want the same kind of cars. They take stuff too far. People be taking stuff too far. So yeah, somebody is realizing how woke you are, how awakened other people are. Like, Some people just in zombified state. They feel like somebody getting more attention than they are. They just go right into copying, ignore every little thing somebody is doing. It's a copycat spirit. But somebody is now learning the power of purging. The power of purging, getting your rest at night, during the day, whatever. Like, I'm a person who likes to take naps in the afternoon sometime, right? And I may have a lot of energy later on, but I like to take naps throughout the day. I make sure I get my rest. I'm gonna make sure I get my rest. I'll make sure I get my rest. When I was teleworking, if I felt like, okay, you know what, I need to take a nap on that's why I suggested, like, if you need to take a nap on your lunch break, I may set my timer, because I'm not stealing somebody else's time. You know, I'll set the timer, take my lunch on my lunch break, and wake up 5-10 minutes before I have to get back to work, report back into work on my computer or log back in. And I would just log back in, you know, reporting back to work. But I felt refreshed, like, oh my God, okay, I really needed that nap. But yeah, somebody is now starting to realize how there are, you know, here's sacral chakra, how creative your creativity is, how creative you can be. I don't believe in stealing employers' time. You know, I'm not gonna be doing something for myself on their time, right? But if you feel like you need to take a nap in the middle of the day, or you need to feel like, okay, you just exhausted, like, oh my God, maybe I need to take an hour or two of leave. Let your manager know, hey, look, I need to take an hour or two of leave, you know, and go get in the bed. If you feel like you need to rest, that's a secret right there. Go get some rest. Go get some rest. So, anything could have happened. You could have had a bad dream. Something could be on your mind. Well, it's just exhausting you. Whatever it is, so that you're not walking around in a zombified state. But some people are just now waking up to how many copycats. Like, that was just like, because I didn't grow up in a church where I would see that kind of stuff. But to see that, for me personally, to see it was just wild. I was like, what is this? Like, what? Anybody else see it? Somebody come look at this. Like, I never saw that. I never saw how many copycats a first lady could have in a church. I couldn't even, I was like mind blown. I can't, this is distracting. This is distracting. Like, everybody trying to look like one person. Where's the sense of style in here? What's going on in here? Right? And that wasn't me judging anybody. Just to me, it was just different. It was just very different to see that. And I was just like, okay, I wonder how the person feels. Like, I wonder how the woman feels. Like, I wonder if she feels like, okay, is that flattering for her? Is it creepy? Is it like, what does it give her? Does it make her skin crawl? Some people just have become so desensitized to things. But yeah, here we have grounded. Many of the most evolved beings on earth are regular folks living with joy, dignity, and courage. Child, because I ain't never seen nothing like that. I was like, So yeah, so it just looks like things just kind of, when people can become desensitized to things, and y'all can handle a lot of things. I mean, really, emotionally, y'all can handle a lot of things. But I really want Scorpios to start journaling for real. Like, start journaling certain things. Like, I noticed, like, let's say you use church or whatever, for example, or mosque or temple or whatever, and you start noticing people copying every little thing that you're doing. Like they just don't have a sense of self. They literally copy and paste. You get your hair a certain way, they get their hair a certain way. You start wearing a certain type of a dress or blouse, or, you know, if you're a guy, a tie or so, and they doing the exact same thing. It goes beyond just, okay, imitation, flattery, whatever. Some people cross that line of literally trying to take you up out of here. Literally trying to take you up out of here, trying to end your marriage, trying to end your friendships. They're trying to infiltrate from the inside. They like really trying to, you know, like really end everything for you. And some people don't notice it until Some people really don't notice it until they get fired. I saw somebody do this to a manager I worked for one time. I was like, oh my God, this person's so busy trying to shadow this person. First, it looks like they were flattering somebody or shadowing somebody. And I'm like, nah, that person trying to take their position. So when it was announced that this person was going to be taking somebody else's job, I was like, not surprised. I wasn't surprised at all. So yeah, because some people are cold-hearted. They slide right on in. They slide right in on. And some people, they will see it and they leave. They go straight into prayer because they already see what's happening. They already see what's in the personal and professional life. They just leave because they see what's happening. So yeah, they see all this copycat going on. They copying literally everything. Go shadow this person because they're already planning on firing somebody, letting somebody go, taking over somebody's position, taking over somebody's marriage, taking over somebody. Next thing you know, people looking like doing a double take. They look just like somebody's ex. They look just like they doing the same thing the other person did in that position. Just a whole different person. Just like, child, this madness. Sacral chakra. The pleasure is all yours. Yeah. So you're meeting somebody pleased to meet you. The pleasure is all mine. Somebody really was trying to. You had a copycat spirit. You had a whole bunch of whoever you are, you had a bunch of copycat spirit. But you doing exactly what you doing, literally copying everything. And this goes beyond, like I always tell people, give people their flowers while they're alive, because it takes a village to raise kids and also everybody's inner child. I believe in, like, there's from the cradle to the grave, everybody has had some kind of influence in their lives, right? So you can't give one person the sole credit for your star shining bright. You could say, okay, well, I'm going to give thanks to this person influenced me, this person influenced me, that person influenced me. You'll know who has a God complex when either you forget their name and you're charging it to your head, but not to your heart. And that's not intentional that you forget, right? You could be like, oh my God, I can't believe I forgot this person. They don't want to talk to you no more. They stomping off like somebody stole their bike. Or somebody basically is mad because you didn't give them 100% of the credit. Like what? Y'all not the only two people on planet Earth. So that's what I'm seeing here. So I'm looking at your cards here. Something is your legacy. Somebody is learning how to go into hermit mode, and a light turns on for you because you and somebody are having a double tower moment. Y'all are basically awakened, to some things. And I'm seeing triumph here of just a purging of just like these copycat energies. It's like, oh my God. Somebody is really starting to awaken to how many people have been copying. And this is not, for somebody, it's not ego. For one Scorpio, it could be ego. Like, oh, everybody trying to be like us. They stole all our shine. But for another Scorpio could be like, you know what, we know that we influenced in some way, shape, form, or fashion. We just look back and see that's a part of a legacy. So people are giving you your flowers, or your kids their flowers, like, man, your parents are the bomb. Like, look how they raised you, you this and that. Somebody is starting to have a total recall of just like hearing somebody says, you know what, your son or your daughter, they really are gifted and talented. Like, wow. They really are gifted and talented. And for those people, they'll end up giving your son or daughter some kind of a platform, or if it's your mom or dad, somebody, or you giving you some kind of platform, if they are in a position to give people a platform to say, hey, look. But that's just people's hearts. They'll give you this is what, like I said, people giving people their flowers while they're still alive. Because people know it's a bunch of copycats out here, starting with people's families. Draining the life out of people. That's what I'm seeing for you in your cards. Let's put some pink cards here, and we're going to go ahead and close it out. Yeah, that's why some people, they like, you know what, they just going to hold back on a couple of things, and then bam, they're going to show up. They're going to show up. Ta-da! Okay? Ta-da! And people in shambles, right? So journal your journey. But yeah. You have a whole new attitude, child. When I would see that in church, I'd be like, oh no, I can't stay around here for too long. These people copying everything. Anybody get a good look at this? Like, anybody see this? Ask source for clarity. That is creepy. Here we have sacral chakra cleanse. Like, come on, anybody want to look different? You know, so here we have your peace is paramount. And so at what age did your parents work on their shadow self, and at what age did you work on your shadow self? But you're not looking back. You're not looking back. Not at all. So it's all becoming clearer to you. Something is becoming clear. Somebody secretly has a crush on you. And I see you know, somebody else was trying to box you in. Like, basically somebody was trying to control something. So should you double back for them? Yeah, so you know you won't be returning some people's calls. Yeah, so Archangel Gabriel, the messenger of God, is with you. And then you have the gift of premonition. This is forewarning. So you know through your dreams ahead of time, like, who has a crush on you, who's always kind of saw you as, like, you know, hot. You could be older, younger, whoever. Somebody could saw you as just like, oh, okay. You know, if you were older, somebody could have been like, man, you know, if they wish they were older, or they wish you were younger, right? Or they may have wished that they could have secretly wished, you know, you were single or whatever, right? But they step over that line. So it's time to start dating again. I'm seeing somebody dating again. Here we have much better lives ahead. But yeah, somebody else's spouse is not your twin flame or soulmate. Like, child, what do people be thinking? Here we have somebody wants to call you, but they haven't changed. Wealth is within your reach. But you got a lot of copycats out here. Somebody met their match, child. Follow your heart. Whew. Somebody still telling lies about you, but child, you don't care. Now they lying to themselves. Somebody telling lies about you, but you don't care. They lying to themselves, child. Anyway, that's what I'm saying for you. But yeah, but it usually starts in people's families with people they look up to a family member or whatever, and they start copying every little thing the family member does, and then and then you start noticing, okay, something's being taken too far. This is a little single white female-ish, like the movie Single White Female, right? We're not talking about white women or black women. We're talking about the movie Single White Female with, I want to say it was starring Bridget Fonda. I want to say it was Bridget Fonda, yeah, with Ali Sheedy, I think her last name is, where she let this person come into her life. She had made it, if y'all saw the movie, she let this young lady rent a room in her apartment, I think after a relationship was over. And this lady basically morphed into her. She went from dark hair, like brunette hair, to red hair, like Bridget Fonda's character. Child, this lady wanted this woman out. I mean, like, literally wanted to sleep with her boyfriend. She wanted trying to end her life. I mean, child, these copycats be doing the absolute most. That's why people are starting to wake up. Yeah, but yeah, hand out compliments like candy. I'm telling y'all, you gonna start recognizing people giving you your flowers when you still alive, and they bounce. They out. They like, nah, okay, yeah, you gonna see something. That's what I have for you. I'll see you all in the next video. Happy full moon. Bye.